welcome everybody to episode 17 of On the Chip with KT and JP. What's going on, everybody? We got a big weekend to bring to you. It's Masters Week. It's Wrestlemania weekend. There is so much shit to talk about, and I can only do it with one guy, and he's sitting next to me, my boy KT.
What's up? We are here. We're watching the Masters coverage, the replay of today. It's fucking awesome. The Masters is going off. It's so good to see. Fucking Spieth is just dominating like he always does at this course. It's getting ridiculous, man.
Guys, you know, we want to talk to you guys a little bit. We got a big announcement to make on how our podcast is going to change to benefit you guys. We've been coming at you strong for 4 months now, and we've gotten your feedback. We've been all over the map, from baseball to basketball to The Walking Dead to wrestling, whatever. And we've gotten your feedback, and we know what you guys want to hear from us. So this is what we're going to be doing moving forward. We, as you guys all know, we are passionate about the Jacksonville Jaguars. From now on, what are we going to do, KT?
We're going to bring you not a weekly podcast anymore. We're going to do big topic events with the things that we like and that you guys like and we like hearing us talk about. For the most part, Jaguars will be in every week during the season and, you know, preseason. But we're also going to bring, like, you know, when there's big major events that come out about the Jaguars news, that's when we're going to do a podcast, you know, that week. You know, we got the draft coming up. We got OTAs coming up. We'll probably touch in a little bit. You know, it'll probably be about a once a month type of podcast going forward. Maybe sometimes twice a month, depending on what's going on. But, you know, that's the kind of stuff we're going to do. We're going to bring you, you know, once we get into training camp, then we'll be full Jags from the end of July through the Super Bowl, because we're probably playing in the Super Bowl next year. So, I mean, you're going to still get us every week in the second half of the year. But in the beginning of the year, besides these major things that come on, there's just not a lot going on in the sports world, or, you know, the stuff that we, you know, care to talk that much about. And this is what we're going to do. This weekend is huge for us. This is like Christmas come early, man. It's Masters. It's the start of spring. Like, it just makes the Masters make spring feel real.
Yeah, man. We've been all over the map for these 4 months because we've been trying to feel you guys out, trying to find out what you guys want to hear from us. And you guys can tell, we can tell by the amount of listens you give us on certain episodes. You can tell that we are passionate about the Jaguars. We're going to bring you, you know, let's face it, this is a Jaguars podcast, whether you like it or not. You know, we're not touting it as a Jaguars podcast.
We even had to realize that because we didn't want to be that, but hey, we're here and we're doing it, and this is what it's going to be, and it's what we're good at.
So basically, moving forward, we're going to bring you a weekly podcast in season. Like KT said, probably training camp to the Super Bowl, we'll be bringing you Jags talk every week. We're going to bring you major events throughout the year. Like after tonight, you probably won't hear us for a couple weeks until they have the state of the franchise address and they introduce the new uniforms, the schedule. We'll be talking about it. We will be live the night of the draft. We will be on the podcast air when the Jaguars make their pick. We will make sure that is when we do and we'll be talking about the state of the franchise leading up to that. And also, guys, another area that we know you guys love us to talk about is golf and wrestling. We've narrowed it down to get your guys' feedback. 16 pods we brought you guys all over the map. I mean, we talked about Walking Dead. We talked about college football, everything. And this is what we've narrowed it down to what you guys want to hear. We are going to bring you the stuff that we love and you can tell that we're passionate about. But we're going to preview WWE pay-per-views, mainly the 4 major ones: WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam. But if we're on the pod,
something pops up.
Yeah, we might talk about the other pay-per-views leading it up. And also golf. We love golf. I'm a PGA professional. I love golf. We love to bring this to you. And we're going to preview and talk about all 4 majors: the Masters, the US Open, the Open Championship, and the PGA Championship.
Maybe we would probably do TPC this year, but Kenny's going to be out of town. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be out of town. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get a call in one night. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, this is what we're gonna bring you guys because we know that that's what you guys want to hear. We're not gonna waste our time anymore on baseball, on basketball, on any of this. We are gonna bring you guys a concentrated content to what we know you guys want us to hear and the stuff that you guys know that we are passionate about and we love. We live and breathe Jacksonville Jaguar football. We are a positive Jacksonville Jaguar podcast. We bring you what the franchise is doing, and that's what we're going to do moving forward. And we hope you guys like the changes. We hope that you guys pay attention to us. We're still going to be very active on social media. We're going to give you guys reasons to tune in. We're going to let you know when the pods are coming. And guys, we're excited about it. We know that this change is going to point us in a direction that's going to help you guys know about your team. We love the Jaguars. We're going to talk about professional golf at the majors, and we're going to talk about professional wrestling at the major pay-per-views. And starting tonight, of all nights to make this announcement.
Yeah, that's the part I was telling you about that I thought was a hole earlier.
I just watched Lou Oosthuizen make a ridiculous putt on 16. No business making that. But, guys, we're going to bring to you tonight, this announcement couldn't have come more timing. It's Masters Week, and it's Wrestlemania Week. So tonight's pod's going to be all about the Masters.
Check 2 off the list.
Yeah, it just happens to be. But, guys, we hope that you're excited about this change. We're excited. Me and KT are really excited about concentrating on one area and bringing you guys what you know that we're passionate about.
Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted to do. And like Jay said, what better weekend than this? I mean, we've been waiting for the Masters for since the golf season started. That's the first big break in the season where you're just pumped. And golf's going to change here in the next year. I think next year, or is it this year that they're moving TPC, players? Next year. So, next year.
The PGA Championship.
It'll be different. The PGA
and we'll
Championship.
Bring you Ryder Cup. Well, not only the majors, we'll bring you the Ryder Cup stuff. I mean, this is...
And maybe every once in a while, another big tournament that might be happening that might be shaping up the FedEx Cup.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited to really concentrate our focus into a small area because we want to bring you guys concentrated content about the stuff that we're passionate about.
And we want people that are passionate about the same things we are, Jags, golf, professional wrestling, to tune in with us when we release it. Like I said, it's not going to be an every week thing, but you're still going to hear us every month.
Maybe
once
a
or
couple
twice
times a month. But when football season, you're going to hear us every week talking about the Jags. And on the weeks that there's a wrestling event, they're going to be involved too. But we love it. We're excited. We're so pumped to finally, after 4 months of bringing you, and we purposely brought you podcasts that were all over the map because we wanted to get your feedback. We wanted to see the episodes that were getting the most listens. And you guys spoke loudly to us. It's Jaguars, man. We are a positive Jaguar talk, and we are going to keep bringing that to you all the way until next year's Super Bowl.
And we're bringing you with the Jaguars, our goal of what we want to do. And we're not experts by any means, and we've told you that from the beginning. We just want to bring you what is actually happening with the Jaguars, what we evaluate and what we see every day with, from Jaguars.com to reading articles to seeing all these different things, to bring you a factual podcast and not an opinion-based podcast.
Yeah, I mean, and make no bones about it, we're a fan cast. I mean, we are fans. We tell you every week that we're just two guys having a conversation, drinking beer, talking Jags. And we're going to love our Jaguars no matter what they do. We're not going to get down on players. We're going to speak the truth when they fuck up, but we're going to praise them when they do the right things. Even though it might not be popular to the fan base, we're going to keep bringing it to you guys. And we're excited. We're ready to go.
Yeah, so sit back and fucking drink some beers. Crack one right now if you're listening to the pod. If you're not at work or fucking in the car. If
you're at work, fucking pop one. I don't care.
If you're at home and you're going to listen to the pod this weekend or next week sometime, fucking crack a beer with us. Sit back. Hopefully we make you laugh. And let's get into the fucking Masters because I am so fucking pumped. I have been watching this shit all day. I was at work. We watched it at work today. We're watching it now.
The only thing we didn't do at work is drink.
Yeah.
I mean, we had it.
And trust me, I thought about it. But
we had it on the tablet today. We were watching the Amen Corner coverage, the featured group pairings. We were watching it before the coverage came on. We watched Tiger. I mean, this is the deepest Masters tournament that I've seen in a long time. I mean, it's This is great, man. I mean, this is so deep. Anybody's going to, I mean, that God only knows what's going to happen come Sunday.
Let's talk about, not that we could probably pinpoint every grouping today, but there were some really cool groupings. I think the best grouping of the day had to be Fowler, Mickelson, and fucking Matt Kuchar.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a fan favorite grouping right there. Like, those guys must have been followed all day today.
The Masters board knows how to put their pairings together. If you notice, if you look at the pairings, there was almost a former Masters champion in every group. I think they did that purposely. They spread out the Masters champions throughout the field. I mean, you had guys going as far back as Sandy Lyle, Larry Mize, Mark O'Mara, to your newest Masters champions, Jordan Spieth, Sergio, and God, we'll get into Sergio's tin cup moment on 15.
it was fucking tin cup, man.
And it was tough to watch, but people are going to say, oh, the pin position was unfair on 15. No. At Augusta, they purposely set this stuff up so you have to play every shot in the book. And sorry, Sergio didn't play the right shot today. He was trying to hit that perfect standard sand wedge shot with a lot of spin on it, and that pin placement didn't call for it. You had to play a dead-handed little chip shot, dead spin, kind of like what Jordan Spieth, and even Jordan Spieth had a little bit of backspin on his.
It's almost like he lost his cool for a minute and was just like, not lost his cool, I don't mean to say that. Like, almost like he got in that moment where he's like, I'm going to prove to myself I can hit this shot. And it fucking showed, because he did it 5 times.
He's tin cup. I mean, that was a tin cup moment. I mean, it was just one of those things where you feel bad for Sergio, because up until that point, at that time in the round, there was not a lot of people under par, and I think he was 2 over when that happened very well in the tournament. I mean, if you're 2 over today, you're still in it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he goes out and he shoots 81, and he has to come out and go through the formalities.
And it was really that hole. I mean, luckily he got one more birdie after that got him back to respectful.
Yeah,
plus 9.
I mean, he's going to have to go out and shoot 66 tomorrow, and hopefully he backdoor cuts it, which I don't know if there's 66 on this golf course right now, even though Jordan shot it today.
Yeah, but Jordan ended up 66?
Is Sergio,
he was at 65. He got 66.
Is Sergio going to be there mentally to do that?
Yeah, it's a tough to come back from. I mean, surprisingly, he didn't go further off the rails after that hole, because I would have been fucking checked out. I would have been spraying it left, spraying it right. I mean,
there was so much cool shit today. How about the amateur Gim holing out on 18 for a 2 to finish?
Yeah, 2 eagles on the back 9, and they weren't on fucking the 2 par 5s. One was on 18,
Eagle
one was
13,
on 13.
Yeah. But I mean, there's so many. I haven't seen a Masters like this where there's so many guys. Usually I was talking to KT about this earlier, that when you go into a major championship, there's 10 guys that have a legitimate shot to win. And it probably still is that.
Right.
But the feeling this year is 25 guys could win this.
The feeling was that coming into it. And then, that's the feeling every year. You do feel like, okay, there's probably 10 to 15 guys. This year it's crazy. But today, they fucking solidified it. What the afternoon group did today, plus some of the guys in the morning, dude, these guys are going to go at it this weekend, and it's going to be sick.
I mean, Mark Leishman had it going early, and then he puts the ball in the water on 15, makes double, still shoots 2 under. Leishman's going to be a guy that there's the end. I mean, Kuchar, we're watching Kuchar finish on 18 right now. He's finished top 5 in the Masters the last 3 years. I mean,
and what a cool guy. Matt Kuchar, I was telling Jay earlier, I was like, Matt Kuchar just seems like a guy you want to fucking like. You probably can't hate that guy. He's just, the crowd loves him. And you hear it on TV, you probably think he's getting booed, but they're yelling Cooch.
Yeah, he's the real deal. I mean, and he's one of those guys that
solid ball striker, just always in contention.
Yeah, I mean, in the majors, he hasn't played good for a while, but...
Has Kuchar won a major?
No.
He's one of those guys that you root for.
Kuchar hasn't even won that many tournaments.
He's just the guy that always is in the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that he's probably won the least amount of tournaments that you would ever know. I mean, he's probably won, if I were to guess without having statistics in front of me, 6 or 7 times ever. And that doesn't even seem right.
And this is a guy who has a long career.
Yeah, I mean he's won a Players' Championship. I mean, that's almost like a major.
The 5th major.
But Like, I don't even want to.
Shot 31 on the back
31
nine.
on the back nine.
Fucking nasty.
3 under on the last 4 holes. I mean, that's good shit. Tied with Tony Finau. I mean, everybody by now has to have seen what happened to Tony Finau.
Oh.
In the fucking par 3, he's backpedaling, fucking basically breaks his ankle and puts it back into place. Kind of disturbing. And unfortunately, guys, if he's in contention, we're going to have to watch that fucking video all weekend.
Yeah, I mean, here's a guy who's a young player on tour. He's had a couple of tour wins already. Is an up-and-coming player. He strikes the ball so well. His short game is ridiculous.
Super long.
And a great guy. Like, listen to his interview after today's round. It was sick. Like, he's just a humble dude. Jay said he came from the big break.
If you remember him and his brother were on the big break. I don't know how many years ago that was. But
here's a guy at his first Masters, his lifelong dream. He hits a hole-in-one on the par 3 on Wednesday, the par 3 tournament that they have on Wednesday. The fun one where they have their family members out there. Their kids are out there caddying.
His mom was out there.
And he starts running up the hole because he just hit a hole-in-one and turns around to face the crowd and put his hands in the air. And his ankle just collapses underneath him. And the son of a bitch gets up and pops it back into place.
I don't see any football players doing that shit.
He has no idea if he's going to fucking play today. He said he was in the hospital all night. He didn't sleep well. Comes out and shoots a fucking 68, 4 under, and was in control the whole day until Jordan decided to go off on the back 9.
Yeah, I mean, this is a stacked leaderboard. I mean, not many people disappointed. I would say biggest disappointments today are Tiger Woods and Justin Thomas.
Ricky Fowler shoots 33 on the back 9.
Yeah, he finishes 3 under in the last 4 holes. I mean, Justin Thomas and Matt and Tiger Woods are really the only guys of your big crew that was over par.
Yeah, Bubba was +1.
Which
Bubba
is
was
surprising.
+1 too.
Which is surprising the way he's been playing.
But those guys are right in it too. I mean,
look at this.
Tiger said that, he was I feel like I'm in a good position. Like, he's like, I wanted to get to even. He said if I could get to even or in the red, it'd be even better. But,
he didn't play the par 5s well.
Oh, he fucking didn't do shit on the par 5s.
You gotta play the par 5s at least 2 under par.
That's where guys score at this course. And you pick one up here and there throughout the day.
And you got, the rest of your leaderboard is just jumbled. I mean, the way the day started, you were wondering if people were even going to shoot under par. But you got
Rafael Cabrera Bello,
he finished solid. Adam Hadwin, sneaky good. He's going in that last group tomorrow.
Charlie Hoffman always plays well here.
Yep. And how about Hao Tong Lee?
Yeah.
Guys, if you haven't heard of this guy, he won Dubai this year. He's been an up-and-coming Chinese player. And I was telling KT earlier, you are going to see a resurgence in Chinese golfers. And you know why? Is because golf is now an Olympic sport. And China takes their Olympic sports very seriously.
World dominance, man. That's what China cares about.
You are going to start seeing machines come out of China. And this Hao Tong Lee, he's the first one. You're going to see a bunch of them. If golf becomes an Olympic sport beyond Japan in 2 years, you are going to see a resurgence, an unbelievable rise of Chinese golfers. So get used to it, because China takes their Olympic sports very seriously.
Oh, they'll be training those kids when they're 3 years old, man.
Yeah.
Those kids will be coming out of the womb hitting fucking golf shots. Like, that's what will happen. And it'll be good for the sport. It'll be good fucking for the, just the worldwide view of golf and how it's growing and, how big. I mean, Jay worked at the Golf Channel. We've talked about this before. I mean, there's the Asian tour out there. I mean, that's where a lot of these guys are getting
stuck doing those tournaments overnight. It sucked. I knew about Hao Tong Lee.
But that's probably why you're seeing these guys coming from.
I knew Hao Tong Lee 3 years ago, and nobody even knew of this guy. But I got to see him play in some tournaments, and
this guy's got game.
He's the real deal, and I'm telling you, he's not going to be the last Chinese golfer that you see take this rise, and it's all because of Olympics.
And it's good for, even like all the Asian players that are out there. I mean, you got Matsuyama from Japan, who's great. Yeah. We've all seen the Korean players, and then the Korean players dominate the LPGA too.
And it's hard to think, you think back because of Japan and Korea being so dominant in the past, especially in women's golf, Korea and women's golf. But then all of a sudden you're like, God, is it really no Chinese players have ever done anything? No, they haven't. They haven't been around. But now you're going to start to see it. And it's all going to be because of the Olympics. And this is what the Olympics wanted. They wanted to start a sport to create that worldwide growth in the game. Yep. Like, you saw guys from Brazil play that you never heard of. Now, unfortunate what happened to the Brazil golf course, but that's just one country that you're going to see this resurgence. I mean, you're starting to see India make a run. You got Anirban Lahiri now you got Shambhaka Sharma, who's now starting to play on a national, worldwide level. And Julian Suri, who, by the way, is sponsored
by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, man. And Suri's an up-and-coming player. He's on the European tour. He's playing some in the States, but, you know, the golf is trying. It really is making a comeback.
And I think a lot of it, I mean, Tiger, granted, Tiger is huge.
It's huge.
He's putting this game back on a worldwide, but the Olympics, don't discount what the Olympics have done for this.
And there's some great South American players, too. You look at Angel Cabrera.
Yeah, now,
I mean, he's been around for a long time. But
the Masters creating the Latin American Amateur Championship. They're giving an amateur from Latin America an invite to the Masters. And this year, Joaquin Neiman, who plays at the University of Florida, I think he was like 2 over today, but he won the Latin American Championship, and he gets an invite here. And they also added the Asian Pacific Amateur Championship, which they have just done so good. The Masters organization is just doing it right. There's no affiliation to the PGA Tour. There's no affiliation to the USGA. This week, what did they announce? That they're going to create the women's Masters Women's Invitational.
Yeah, they're going to the first time ever.
I guess the last round is now going to be the Saturday before the drive, chip, and putt, which they went far beyond creating the drive, chip, and putt. They made a commitment to junior golf, which is fantastic.
Which is what your specialty was out in Vegas, Jay.
Yeah.
Jay worked like firsthand with the kids in Vegas, and like that was like when he was still doing PGA professional, being a PGA professional. His whole focus was bringing the junior game up because you need it because golf was starting to fucking fall apart.
And when I was in Vegas, the Southern Nevada chapter of the PGA, we had the highest ranked PGA Junior League in the country. Participation-wise, we were far beyond everybody.
And it was really cool. I was out there one summer. I was helping Jay move, and he was like, dude, I got a fucking kids tournament today. So we went out there, and we were watching the kids. They're walking their clubs. They're carrying their own bags. And it was sick. Those kids were good.
The PGA Junior League is so huge. They've created Little League for golf.
Yeah, that's what it is. You had kids like from 7 years old, 6 years old.
They're all wearing golf shirts with numbers on them, like jerseys. The PGA has done good. The Masters has done good with the drive, chip, and putt. Now they're adding the women's event. I mean, it is really cool.
If you guys know, it's a big deal for women, especially since they weren't even allowed to be members at Augusta. I mean, you know the history of like what Augusta was. It was a men's club.
If you guys remember the women's protests back in the day with Burke and she got her way. I mean, what's happened to golf in the last 10 years at Augusta National? I mean, there was a time where not only women couldn't get in, a black man couldn't get in. And now that's changed beyond belief. I mean, Augusta's now letting kids play. Now they're opening the door to women. I mean, the growth of the game is huge. It really is.
Yeah, and they're an important part of it. And they're the forefront of the movement because Augusta's so special. It's based on Bobby Jones, who's probably one of the biggest guys who cared the most about the game of golf. Yeah. That he chose personally not to go professional, even though he's probably one of the greatest golfers that's ever lived.
And he always said
he fucking built Augusta.
And he always said, he's not going to turn professional because he respected the game that much.
He didn't want to play for money.
It wasn't meant to play for money, and that's what he stood by. He was a fucking lawyer in Georgia. I mean, the guy, he went to Georgia Tech. I mean, he would have to travel on a cruise ship for like 2 weeks just to get to Europe to play in the Open Championships. I mean, back then, people don't realize how hard it was to go over and play in the Open Championship.
Bobby Jones was in the 20s? The 20s
I mean,
era?
The Open Championship
1920s?
is the oldest major championship there is. And guys wonder why Americans wouldn't go over and play. Is because it was a logistics thing. You couldn't travel over there. Yeah. You had to go on a cruise ship for weeks at a time to get there. And Bobby Jones, when he tees it up at St. Andrews for the first time ever, he fucking hates it. He slams his club. He said, "This isn't golf." And what he was dead wrong. That was golf.
That's where golf fucking started.
And then he grew to love it and to appreciate it. Kind of the same way like Phil does. Phil hated the Open Championship, and he embraced it, changed his game, and look, he won a fucking Open.
I mean, you got to think like, and the thing where they hated it was because American golf, the way America's like, the American golf started developing their golf system was completely different than what the British, the St. Andrews
If you
did.
think about it, American golf courses are designed to fly the ball in the air. When you play over in the golf course designs...
So they're talking about the ground game.
The golf course designs, the ball is designed to play close to the ground. And that's the difference between our game and their game. And until you embrace that and you understand how you have to play the shots close to the ground and use the contours of the land, that's what does it.
It's probably because those fucking drunk Irishmen couldn't hit a ball in the air. They were just skipping rocks up the fucking fairway.
If you've ever heard Robin Williams...
Oh, it's the funniest shit ever.
The invention of golf. It's so fantastic about drunk Scottish guys in a bar. It's great. If you've never heard it, Google it. It's fantastic. But to get back... I mean, we've kind of gone off a little bit, but to get back to the current Masters, I mean... This week's going to be great. I mean...
I'm going to touch on Bobby Jones again real quick, just because, like, Bobby Jones was the first amateur, right, to win the fucking Grand Slam. And at that time, it wasn't the Grand Slam that we have today. It wasn't the U.S. Open. It wasn't the Masters. It wasn't
the Masters. You had the U.S. Open. The British Open, the U.S. Amateur, and the British Amateur. Yeah. That was your 4 majors. And eventually it grew into what we have now with the first couple Masters tournament weren't even called the Masters. They had to go backdate it, and they had to issue green jackets for guys that won the first few years, and then it became an invitational, and then Augusta National turned into what it is. I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Billy Payne, who was the most recent chairman of Augusta National, just recently retired. Fred Ridley, this is his first year. You could tell this morning during the honorary starters, he was nervous. It was his first year as the chairman. But what Billy Payne did in his time by creating the Asian Pacific Amateur and the Latin American Amateur Championship to get those 2 invites, his whole goal was to represent what Bobby Jones believed in, amateur golf.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about Augusta is there's so many of these ways to qualify. You have the U.S. Amateur Champion and the U.S. Amateur runner-up get an invite. And then you get the U.S. Mid-Amateur, which this year, I think, what's his name? Parziali. He's a firefighter in Chicago or something like that. He won the U.S. Mid-Am. He's there playing. And then you have these other guys like Neiman come in playing. He plays his golf at Florida, but he's Latin American. He wins that championship down there. And you guys may know there's not a lot of Latin American guys playing. You know, there's not a lot of Mexican golfers. You know, Lee Trevino was probably, but he was more American, but he had the Mexican background. But then you get into, you know, South America with the Camellia Villegas and Johnny Vegas from Venezuela. Angel Cabrera from Argentina. I mean...
Who's a great golfer. Those guys are. Yeah,
I mean... It's there, but it's getting bigger, and I think Masters has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, it's what Bobby Jones meant to the game of golf is just incredible. If you ever get a chance to watch the movie with James Caviezel about Bobby Jones, it shows his struggle trying to win that Grand Slam with running his career as a lawyer, his husband duties to his wife and his children. And the dude went through so much stress trying to win that thing. And at the end of that movie, he drops a ball on a little field, and his buddy asks him, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm teeing off on the first tee at Augusta." It was his dream to build this heaven on earth place that is called Augusta National.
I mean, if you go do any research about Augusta National and you realize what Bobby Jones did, Bobby Jones went to play a U.S. Amateur Championship at Pebble Beach back in the day. And it was one of those things that there was no planes. He had to take a train. He went to play, and Alistair McKenzie, who is the architect of Augusta National, he built a course in Northern California, and it was called Pasatiempo. It's still there. It's one of the greatest golf courses in the Northern California area with Pebble Beach, and he teed it up during a practice round before the U.S. Amateur, and he fell in love with Pasatiempo, and that is the reason why Alistair McKenzie was selected by Bobby Jones to be the designer of Augusta National, because he loved that golf course. And to this day, Pasatiempo is one of the greatest courses in the United States that nobody knows about, because it's a small private club in Northern California in Monterey. And Bobby Jones loved Pasatiempo. He played there on opening day of the golf course, never been played before, and he fell in love with Alistair McKenzie's design, and they created what you're watching on TV this week. And it is the greatest golf tournament, the greatest test of golf, everything.
It's everything about it is amazing. I mean, I didn't grow up a golfer. I wouldn't call myself a golfer today. I love the game of golf, and I remember being a kid, like just tuning in. You'd be like, "Oh, the Masters is here," and I'd turn it on, sitting at home, and just seeing the azaleas in bloom and how green this place is. Everything is fucking pristine at Augusta. There's not a blade of grass at a place. I dare you to even find a brown piece of grass in that course.
You know where I went to Augusta? I went 2 years in a row, 08 and 09. Or 07, 08. Somewhere in there. I don't know. I know it was 08. I don't know if I was 07 or 09. I went 2 years
Too many beers that 2 year span.
But when I knew I was at a different place, me and my buddy had parked off the parking lot that's off of number 5 fairway. And the practice rounds were over, and we were walking down the 16th hole and back to our car. And if you've been to Augusta, you know how 16 runs into 6 and number 5's right there. There was 6 guys in khakis and collared shirts walk mowing the rough at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Unbelievable.
6 o'clock in the evening. They were walk mowing the rough in khakis. And if you know anything about the Masters, the grounds crew is made up of superintendents from all over the country. They come for this weekend to help the superintendent and to make the tournament everything it needs to be. And when I saw them walk mowing the rough on 16 on an area of the golf course that will never be in play, I said, holy shit, this is a different type of place. And that's when I knew I was somewhere special.
Yeah, it's incredible. I've never been there. It's my dream to go there at one point. We will get there. I'll get there with Jay at some point. We'll win that fucking lotto where I get a ticket and then we'll go. Or I'll find some tickets on StubHub that are decent.
They're only $2,000.
Yeah, so it's fucking whatever. It's chump change.
That's chump change to KT.
But, it's Augusta. It's just such a fucking unbelievable thing. The Masters just makes you feel good, from the piano and the guitar playing. Jim Nance on the call. DJ just missed another birdie. Man, there was a point in today's... Well, let's get back to the tournament, right?
Yeah.
We've been kind of went off on a tangent about just the history. But that's how important Augusta is. It's why we love it. It's why you should love it. It's just a character in itself. The course is more important than the players playing it.
I mean, if you go to Augusta... I remember me going to Augusta for the first time. I walked the whole entire golf course and forgot to even realize that there was actually professional players.
You're like, oh, there's fucking Tiger Woods. I forgot he was
give
even
a shit.
there.
I was so worried about seeing the golf course, I didn't even care that there was guys playing it.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, oh my God, there's fucking Tiger, there's Phil. I don't even care. I wanted to walk all 18 holes in its entirety and see the beauty of this place.
But yeah, let's talk about some of the rounds these guys had today. I mean, we just were talking about DJ. Man, there was a point I was telling Jay didn't get to watch the second half of today's tournament. He had his daughter's soccer practice. He had his 3-year-old.
I was running around the whole fucking complex with my 3-year-old. My 6-year-old's in soccer practice, and if you guys have kids, you know what a 6-year-old soccer practice is. It's chaos.
Yeah. And you know what having a 3-year-old who we'll call it the heart show because that's what she is, and she runs her own show. I'm sure Jay was all over the fucking place. Plus, he had to get back to where I am to do this pod tonight. But
I'm just watching the end now, and I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to turn on my TV and watch the Masters app until the coverage comes on. I'm not doing shit tomorrow.
Yeah, DJ got it going. DJ was 3 over in the front 9. And you're like, man, what the fuck, man? Dustin Johnson? Like, we thought this was going to be, like, his year. Last year he had the fucking slip down stairs. It was crazy. And then all of a sudden, Dustin takes a turn. He gets a birdie. He birdies again. And he has the course, like, kind of like right where he wanted it, I thought. And he dumps it in the water on 15. No big deal. Saves par.
It's a tough golf course for Dustin. I mean, when I look at these golf courses, I see guys like Rory and Jordan. I just don't see Dustin having success here. I don't know why, but it just doesn't scream Dustin Johnson.
He's never really had success here, has he?
No, I mean...
Top 20, maybe.
Yeah, I mean...
I've never remembered ever hearing his name on Sunday.
I just don't see Dustin Johnson being the guy that's going to put a green jacket on. I just don't see it. I love Dustin Johnson. He's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, he's the guy that can go win the U.S. Open because his game's that good.
I can much see him win at Shinnecock this year than I will see him win here. He might play well. He'll probably shoot well tomorrow, make the cut, and he's going to be a factor. The weather's going to have a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And Saturday, they usually set this place up for someone to shoot something stupid.
Will they set it up easy tomorrow, Jay? Or will they set it to where guys that are playing well can score?
Well, the thing about Augusta, if you're a historian of the game, the pin positions are so similar every year. I mean, you know where they're going to be. These are typical, like on 18, you're going to see that middle right pin where guys are going to be trying to make the cut. I mean, this is the smallest field in the Masters in quite some time. 88 players, I think.
Yeah. We're watching fucking Jordan's chip on 18. After he just went fucking 5 birdies in a row. Guy birdies 13 through 17.
He's lucky.
Took control of the game. Hits a fucking crazy almost out of bounds shot on the 18th tee. Has to chip it back to the front of the fairway. Hits 3 wood into the gallery. And then hits a chip to like 6 inches.
To save bogey.
The
guy could have shot 65 today.
And keep him he could have shot 65. Ends up shooting 66. And the way he started 18, he could have been...
It could have been ugly.
It could have been ugly.
I mean...
Now he's going to tap in bogey. And he's like, fuck yeah, man.
Sergio's going to have to shoot 65 tomorrow to make the cut.
And he ain't going to do it.
It's out there, though.
It is out there. It proved today it's out there.
Where's Sergio's mental state? That's the thing. Is he giving up?
Yeah, fuck, Tiger can come out and shoot 65 tomorrow. Doubt it.
He just doesn't. He's not driving the ball well enough to shoot 65.
No, he's not. And what I was
Tiger will probably be around par the whole weekend.
Yeah,
he'll be there. He'll probably make the cut tomorrow. He'll be around. But these guys are they're in another level than Tiger is right now, and people have to start realizing that.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about earlier, you got Rory. I told Jay, I think Rory's my dark horse. I don't even think he's a dark horse in the tournament, but Rory's kind of seems to have been forgotten lately. And he's playing.
They'll put him back on the map.
And the thing that made Rory, what I believed in Rory today, is Rory hasn't been playing well because his putting has been shit. And today, he made some big putts today.
He putted really well at Bay Hill.
Yeah.
Really well.
If Rory's putting's on, watch out, Spieth, because he's only 3 shots behind.
I just can't wait to see I just want Sunday afternoon, the back 9. I want like 10 guys to have a shot. I know that's a lot. It's like that year Charles Schwartzel won. There was like 6 guys that could win. Now, that was a weak year because there was no star power. I couldn't even tell you the other guys that were in the hunt.
That's why this year's so crazy. Like, that one statement Jason just made was there's no star power. This year, everyone that's already in it on Thursday is names you know and names you care about. If you're looking at the leaderboard right now, you got Spieth.
If you're a casual golf fan, I mean, CBS has got to be loving this because you're going to get not your normal viewers, but you're going to get your random viewers, your Tiger Woods viewers.
You got ex-Masters winners in the top right now. You got Patrick Reed at 3 under, 3 behind Spieth. What if they are the final pairing on Sunday? How interesting would that be? I mean, we talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago about the fucking
Phil and Tiger.
Him making the comment, Phil and Tiger. I doubt we see that, but man, wouldn't that be something special?
And Spieth, they squashed their deal during the match play, but
Oosthuizen, he's won a major before, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's won the Open Championship.
He won the
St. Andrews by 9.
Yeah, he's
the year that he caught the weather right, and everybody else got fucked.
Yeah.
And he's been in contention. Remember he made the double legal on number 2 a couple of years ago in the final round?
Yeah.
He holed out from... But guys, dude, this is the Masters. We could go on and on and on and talk about the Masters. And we love it, and it's going to be great.
Fucking Duff shot +1, or it was +1 today. I didn't realize Duffner, they didn't show him at all today.
Yeah, he played early.
Fuck, man. Duffner's right in. I thought he might have been out of it because I didn't see anything about him today.
If you're even par or better, you're right in it. If you're a couple over, you're still in it.
Matsuyama's at 1 over.
The guys that went off early.
Let's look at some of the guys that are like 2 over. DeChambeau, Tiger's at 1 over. Martin Keimer's got a major, right?
A couple. The guys that fucking played early kind of got the tougher golf course.
They did, because they weren't scoring earlier.
And it's going to be interesting to see how that goes tomorrow, because
some of those guys will be playing a little bit later.
There's only 88 players in the field, so it's not like a regular tour event where you're getting morning, afternoon, morning. It's only like a 4-hour exchange.
They were saying earlier, the last group tomorrow is the collection of the group that had the lowest scoring goes last on.
No, it's already set. The first 2 rounds are already set.
But they said that earlier. Charlie Hoffman's group's going off last tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not. There's not an exact science of how they do this. It's not like a PGA Tour event where if you go early Thursday, late Friday, or late Thursday.
They saying it was based on like the scoring average of the collective group.
Nah, well, they were already set. Their first 2 tee times are already set.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a cocksucker. Fucking Bernard Langer, he's an old fucking timer.
Yeah,
he's 2 over. Even though he's not going to win, but there's a lot of guys that are, that are right in this tournament, and anything can happen tomorrow. I mean, Spieth could fucking come out and shoot fucking 3 over tomorrow. You never know.
Yeah. But he probably won't.
He probably won't, but I mean, it just goes to show.
They have the 10-shot rule, but I think it's 50 in ties make the cut. You're probably looking at a even to 1 over cut line tomorrow. What's the top 50 in ties right now? You're looking at right here, 2 over.
Yeah.
Would be 54 players in the cut.
Justin Thomas is right on that cut line as of today.
So it's not going to probably move that much. I would say 2 over is probably a good cut line.
Poulter won last week. I mean, you got all kinds of guys. You got Zach Johnson's at 2 under. He's a past Masters winner.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting.
There's a lot of guys with a lot of experience on this course, and a lot of guys who've won at this course that are going to be in there. That are, years before, like the last few years, it felt like all the guys in the last group on Sunday, most of them hadn't been there before.
Yeah.
And they all fell flat on their face because, shit, my asshole would be as tight as a fucking coal mine, man, like diamond mine. Like
KT the Diamond Mine. But guys, we could go on and on about the Masters, but we got something else we got to talk about this week. And it just so happens to fall that it's on the same weekend. It's WrestleMania week, man.
Yeah.
And it's a big weekend for professional wrestling. New Orleans is going to be popping with a Ring of Honor show. I think MLW has a show. All the big... And by the way, MLW now has a TV deal. Look out. A lot of independent guys are going to get seen now.
And a great podcast.
Yeah.
For wrestling. If you guys want a good wrestling podcast.
They tell you how it is. We like
besides
the MLW.
Ours.
We like the MLW deal. But we want to go over the weekend happenings in WWE because, guys, let's face it, we're WWE-centric. We like them all, but we're going to focus on WWE. Like we said, we're going to streamline our content. That's what we're going to be bringing you guys.
Yeah, and it's WrestleMania, and I don't care what wrestling thing you like. Everybody tunes into WrestleMania.
WrestleMania is the common fan tunes in because you got shit like Ronda Rousey that people know, and you got you hear Brock Lesnar and you hear all this stuff.
Your Kid Rock might show up.
But if you're a true wrestling fan, I think the show of the weekend is going to be Saturday night NXT Takeover.
It will be. NXT will put WrestleMania to
They
shame.
always do. The 4 major pay-per-views, there's always a takeover, and NXT continues to bring it. And we're going to go over the card real quick. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it because WrestleMania is so big, and they have like 15 fucking matches at WrestleMania, 7 hours show.
And if you care about pure wrestling, if you're a pure professional wrestling fan, NXT Takeover is the one you want to tune into. You're going to tune into WrestleMania, but the wrestling show is going to be Saturday night, and it's going to be fucking sick. Just looking at the card, looking at what's been going on in NXT, it's just nasty.
We're going to go through the card real quick. There's like 6 slated matches. It's only a 2-hour show. Let's start with the tag match. Your champions, Undisputed Era. There's a little hiccup in the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, apparently...
Bobby Fish is injured, so Adam Cole is going to pull double duty on the night. He's going to fight in the Undisputed Era tag match because they have the Freebird rule where you can have, like the New Day where any 2 guys can fight.
The Undisputed Era is going to win 2 titles on Saturday night. I have a feeling.
I have a feeling that they're going to hold a lot of belts after Saturday night. But you got Undisputed Era, Authors of Pain, who I am still shocked that they're not called up.
Yeah, because the tag division sucks in the main roster.
Which might be a good thing for Authors of Pain. And Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong with this crazy partnership all of a sudden. Pete Dunne getting a huge push on NXT TV.
Pete Dunne was the British champ, right?
He still is. I mean...
Yeah, that dude's nasty. Remember that match? Was it last year? Last year's Takeover.
Him and Tyler Bate, match of the year.
So
and
sick.
I think they had another match that was high quality. And I think Dave Meltzer rated it the only 5-star match in the history of NXT. Oh, no. Gargano and Cien Almas at the last Takeover.
Oh, that match was so fucking
ridiculous. That was great. Predictions here, KT? I mean, do you think Undisputed Era retains with Adam Cole?
I do.
I think Authors of Pain are time to go up.
Yeah, we're at the point of the year of WWE where it's roster shakeup time. So people are getting called up.
It's a fresh start. Come Monday, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania is like a
For
fresh start.
some reason, in the last few years, all of a sudden WWE treats WrestleMania. I mean, it is its Super Bowl, but it's like they almost go into like the off season, and it's like a new fucking.
Which is good.
Teams rebuilding and whatever.
And I think
like
WWE needs that right now.
They
need
definitely need it right now because.
And I think that there's some writings on the wall where I think we're going to see a fresh start. There's some big things.
SmackDown's bad.
We'll get into the WrestleMania main event and everything that's happened outside of the WWE that may have caused some interesting developments.
There's a lot of shit.
And we'll go into it. But Undisputed Era probably retains with Adam Cole. Authors of Pain move up. Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong probably get positioned into some bigger roles.
I think you have to keep it like that because, I mean, are you really going to give it
There's
to
no reason.
Pete Dunne and
No,
Roderick
it's
Strong?
Authors of Pain. It's time for them to move up.
It is. They've been there for too long in NXT.
I think they've already been the champions. And in the history of NXT, normally, guys, I think the Revival, the only 2-time champs, tag champs in NXT.
Yeah.
Usually you lose it and you move up.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but Undisputed Era, you got a rematch of the women's title, Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler. They had a great match the last time. And Shayna Baszler, as much inexperience as she has in wrestling, she was good.
Oh, that's the one where she tried to snap Ember's arm. And
Yeah. She's the MMA. She's Ronda Rousey's buddy, that whole bullshit. But I think, do you move Ember up, let Shayna take the reign now, and develop the other girls there, like Peyton and those? I mean,
well, they're so full on and fucking pushing the women's movement that I can't imagine you wouldn't move an Ember up.
Yeah. I mean, then you move on. We're not going to spend a lot of time on these. We're going to cruise through these quick. Then you have the new North American Championship, which is very interesting.
And the belt is sick. I saw the belt today.
Probably North American Championship match is probably going to be the match of the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Listen to these participants.
6-man tag? Not 6-man tag. 6-man
ladder match.
Ladder match.
You have Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah.
You have Velveteen Dream, who me and KT have already talked on this show that he is the up-and-coming rising star.
Yep. Eventually
Killian Dane, who is going to be sick.
He's the fucking big
big
bearded dude,
yeah.
right?
You have Lars, the big ogre Russian-looking dude.
Yep.
You have Ricochet, who, if you haven't seen Ricochet fight ever, you're going to get your treat. He is something special. And then EC3.
TNA's hidden surprise for all these years.
And he had the whole Full Sail Arena calling him NX3. I mean, EC3 is a star in the making. And it's going to be a ladder match. You have Ricochet's probably going to do something that is you're going to think someone's going to die. He's unbelievable. But in my opinion, I think Adam Cole's going to win the belt. I think Adam Cole's probably in line to get a push at the title belt. But EC3, don't be surprised if he's your North American champion at the end. I think that he is the man, the future, and it's really going to be what is going to push NXT going forward. Because every NXT takeover, you're like, how can they keep this going? And they do it every time. They have like a new crop of guys that come up. You're like, all these guys get moved to the main roster, and you're like, they're depleted. And by the time the next NXT takeover starts, it's an unbelievable pay-per-view.
It's because it's run well, and they actually let these guys develop on their own and create their own characters and be who they are. And it's not like the main roster where they fucking shit all over them. And I agree with Jay. I actually think EC3 probably is. My initial thing was going to be Adam Cole, just because I think he is definitely the future of the WWE.
I think Adam Cole's going to be pushed to the main belt. To the main belt.
Yeah.
He's not far away from the main roster.
And they already love Adam Cole because he showed up at fucking the Royal Rumble.
The only thing that hurts Adam Cole with Vince is he's small. Very small.
And Vince
if you
won't
see
like that.
Adam Cole in person, he's very small. He's a Daniel Bryan type guy.
And EC3 is the guy that Vince loves because he's a Jinder Mahal type body style.
But he also shipped EC3 out because he was in NXT a long time ago, and he moved him out. But EC3 went to TNA, developed his character,
and
really developed. And
I don't know who was responsible for EC3's development at TNA, but
it can't be anybody there. No. I mean, that was a fucking joke when he was there.
But maybe he saw the writing on the wall and was like, this show is shit, and I got to really sell myself. Because he became the top guy there, next to Bobby Roode, next to...
he was there with AJ
Money.
At the end.
Yeah.
And then you have the semi-main event, which is probably one of the best stories being told over the last year in NXT. And it's Johnny Gargano versus Ciampa, Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, you talk about one of the best wrestling stories I've seen in a long time. They've really played this one out.
They have let this one go over several months now.
And it helped because Ciampa got hurt.
And Gargano went on and put on a match of the year candidate with Cien Almas. Now you're finally going to get the payoff. They've built it up great.
Yeah. It's that match is going to be sick. And Aleister Black is fucking incredible.
And Cien Almas has outperformed everything. I mean, I don't think anybody could have ever thought when Cien Almas got the belt over Drew McIntyre, everybody thought, oh, it's because of an injury. He has performed and shown everybody that he deserves that belt. And that match against Gargano was a 5-star. Dave Meltzer, 5-star NXT match.
It shows what they think of him, too, because he came into the Royal Rumble, and he made it.
He lasted a long time in the Royal Rumble.
For an NXT guy.
And that goes to show you what Vince thinks of him.
Yeah.
If you can sit in there for 30 minutes.
Vince likes those true wrestling, the Lucha.
The Lucha. Yeah, I mean,
you know.
It's going to be good. Don't be surprised. My prediction is Aleister Black, Cien Almas to the main roster. Aleister Black setting up with Cole.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
Cole
that would
Black,
be sick. They've already had a run-in together, haven't they? Already had a feud?
Yeah, I think the Cole Black could be huge. I mean, you could be seeing that at the next TakeOver.
That'd be at your SummerSlam.
Yeah. SummerSlam will be the next one, right?
NXT's building. They've got so much talent in that right now that...
I'm sorry, but did you see that outlet pass by fucking Kevin Love
right there?
So
sick.
That was ridiculous. I'm sorry, guys, but we just saw a highlight. Kevin Love behind the back. Oh, my God. Okay, moving on. I'm sorry I fucking got distracted, but that was ridiculous. But, guys, NXT TakeOver, watch it. It's going to be incredible. Now on to Wrestlemania, a 7-hour fucking show. Pre-show starts at 5. we're going to go through these matches. We don't know what order they're going to be in. That's the question. That's always the question. What order is WrestleMania? What's it going to end on? Who's going to start the show? Who's going to be in the pre-show? We're going to go through matches on the order that we think it should happen. It's probably not going to happen this way, but we're going to go quick until we get to the bigger matches. But we're going to start off with the resurgence of 205 Live. Drake Maverick, who, if you guys know, is Rockstar Spud from TNA.
Yeah.
He's brought in this new kind of thing. Triple H is now running 205 Live.
Part of the Dudleys.
No, you're thinking of Spike Dudley.
Okay. I always like get confused because I always am like, was he?
No, Rockstar Spud.
Because he looks kind of like him, like cleaned up.
Maybe. But I think what you're going to see, a resurgence of 205. I mean, I think you're going to start seeing guys like Ricochet and some guy. I mean, it's been unbelievable to see what Triple H has done in a short period of time running 205. The tournament was a great idea.
Yeah.
It happened in their favor with Enzo getting busted or whatever he did. But now you've come up to it's going to be a great match, Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander for the cruiserweight. Mustafa Ali is amazingly talented. I listened to Chris Jericho's podcast this week, and he is still shocked on how Mustafa Ali even does his finisher. Like, if you haven't looked at Mustafa Ali's finisher, YouTube it. It's awesome.
I don't even fucking know.
But I'd be
because I don't fucking like cruiserweights. I mean, I think they're highly talented, but
I think if it's done the right way, cruiserweights can be done well.
Yeah, if they actually develop them. The 205 thing that they've done far has been stupid.
My prediction, Mustafa Ali is the new cruiserweight.
Okay.
KT probably doesn't really care.
I don't care, but I would care if they... The thing is, when they brought it back and they threw it on Raw, like, it's their whole way WWE does their TV programming.
And if you notice, it's not on Raw anymore. It hasn't been on Raw for 2 months.
Yeah. Well, since Enzo.
Yeah, because it's got a
Enzo and Rick Swann.
It's got
They had like a lot of bad apples in a row.
Well, I don't want to put Rich Swann in the same category as Enzo because Rich Swann, there's no positive evidence against Rich Swann. Enzo, there is. So other people in this industry have gotten in trouble for defending Rich Swann. We're not going to be ones that defend Rich Swann.
No, I'm not saying anything.
But KT's right. There's been a lot of black eyes towards the 205 division. And
and that's why...
And Vince just said, we're going to break our way away from it for right now and let it have their own show.
On the network.
And Triple H has done a good job with it, and I think it's what's needed. And you're going to see a good match. I mean, you've got two great competitors. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali are probably going to have a great match. It's going to be in the pre-show. There's no reason that match needs to be on the main card.
No.
Yeah, and then moving forward... You've got the
Women's Battle Royal on the pre-show. Oh, no, that's not going to happen.
It should. But you've got the two Battle Royals. They're a little confusing here.
What else is your pre-show? It'll be like some side card thing.
No, I mean...
It'll be some side card. It ain't going to be anything that we have listed down.
I mean, you could see the men's Battle Royal on the pre-show. You could.
They probably would.
They should put both of the Battle Royals on the pre-show. You got
should.
2 hours. But... The women's battle royal.
You're right. The men's battle royal probably will be on the pre-show.
The men's battle royal is always on the pre-show, so it wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary. But you should put the women's as well. You have 2 women's matches on the main card. That's good.
Right.
And probably the only 4 competitors that should be on the main card.
Yeah.
But let's face it, the women's battle royal, they're building up Sasha, Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
If it's anybody but them 2 at the end, it's not going to make any sense to me.
And you set that up for SummerSlam or their next pay-per-view.
Yeah, Bayley and Sasha will be your final 2 competitors in the women's battle royal. To be honest with you, who cares who wins? It's not going to do anything special. I mean, it is what it is. Now let's get into the more interesting thing. It's the men's battle royal. There's only a few people scheduled to be in that battle royal to this point. And that battle royal has not been what they wanted it to be, a launching point. What Baron Corbin won, Cesaro won, Big Show won, and now Mojo Rawley won.
Because it's fucking stupid, and they just created it to like get everybody on the roster.
And that's Vince's thing. Chris Jericho said this best in his podcast. It's Vince's way. He wants to reward everybody on the roster. It's a way to get those little guys on a WrestleMania show.
But you shouldn't. You should be fucking based on your value through the year. And that's what I like about the initial thing of SmackDown on fan voting of like who was going to be top 10. But they fucking ruined it.
Well, they didn't do that well, and it got squashed.
Right. But I mean, that was like a cool thing.
It could have been good.
And that's what they should do.
Yeah.
Like, if you had a college football system of fucking, like, you could have executive votes, you could have fucking fan votes. Dude, how cool would that be? Like, here's your guys that are going to make the fucking WrestleMania roster.
But I mean,
it goes away from storytelling, too, though.
I know Vince is trying to reward every wrestler for putting themselves out there every year. You're going to have... You know, the men's battle royal has not been what they wanted to be. You know, Baron Corbin won out of nowhere. He wins the first one, and he's been a disappointment.
We already have a Royal Rumble.
I know. I'm just saying, this is his way to get everybody on the card.
I know.
What's going to happen? I mean, Revival's in there. You don't even know if Elias is going to be in there. Elias needs to be somewhere on. There's rumors of what he's going to do. They haven't even committed him into that. And I think Elias winning the Battle Royal would be a detriment to his character.
Of course it would.
He doesn't even need to be in that match.
No.
And we'll go into what we think Elias should do later. But right now, a guy if you really want to make this a springboard, maybe for somebody to get vaulted into the U.S. Championship or the IC Championship picture, it's almost like, I know Jinder's already in the match, but it's almost like set up for a guy like Jinder to win this. Even though he's in the U.S. Championship match.
But the reason it doesn't work is because they don't put any emphasis on winning that fucking thing. It's just this made-up thing that Vince threw together and is like, we're going to have a Andre the Giant Battle Royal. It's more of a homage to Andre the Giant than it is anything with moving your career forward.
When Baron Corbin won the first one, I think they had big aspirations for Baron, and he underperformed. Cesaro... He's turned out to be okay, but he probably didn't need to win that.
No.
Big Show won it because it was an homage to Andre.
Was that the first one?
Yeah, everybody knew Big Show was going to win the first one. And then Mojo, that was a fun. But you should have Mojo Rawley and Jinder were the last two last year, right? Jinder lost, and his fucking career got elevated to world champion.
You know how you elevate the Andre the Giant Battle Royal? You fucking say, whoever wins the Battle Royal, it's like Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And you put Braun Strowman in it, and Braun Strowman fucking destroys everybody in that. But that's what the fucking Royal Rumble is.
It's funny that you say that. I think it was Wade Keller and maybe Johnny Fairplay this week. They said, make the winner get an automatic invite to the Money in the Bank. Give him something that now he has a chance to earn a shot.
Just something.
But it's not going to be a guy like Mojo Rawley.
But now all you get is I want a fucking trophy, which is stupid.
You can't hold it. It's not like you can hold the Money in the Bank briefcase around. You can't hold that trophy around. I mean, who wins? We don't even know who's in it. You're going to let Kurt Hawkins win and have a feel-good moment because he breaks the streak? That would be cool.
It would be cool.
Because Kurt's been shit on for fucking days.
Pick me, Brown. That was the shirt he had on Monday night.
Going into the actual, I mean, those were our predictions for the pre-show, but going into the fucking thousands of matches that there are, we're going to cruise through these quick because we're going long tonight.
This is what happens when we get passionate.
Yeah, we get passionate, guys. We go into John Cena and The Undertaker. Is Undertaker going to show up? Is it even worth Undertaker showing up? Is it a big fucking coup by the WWE to bait the fans? Is John Cena going to sit in the front row as a fan? Is there going to be a confrontation?
My thing is, Cena will be in the arena as a fan.
He's going to get in the ring,
talk shit,
and it won't be an official match. It won't be an official match.
It will be no match.
Because honestly, let's face it, guys, I don't think Undertaker can do a match.
He can't.
Physically. But it would be cool. Everybody says, we're going to see him as the badass because he retired the Undertaker character. But
what would move that forward? Like those two in the ring together?
There's no reason either one of them, they don't need to move forward.
They could have someone come out and fuck with them. Like who's an undercard team that could just kind of come out and fuck with them, and Cena and Taker have their WrestleMania moment where they're
Revival?
high-fiving each other. Yeah, like that's what I was just thinking. Like the revival would be someone would be like, we don't want to hear about you has-beens because they're supposed to be the study of history and all this of wrestling.
Top
like,
guys. Top guys.
That could be your fucking
and
thing.
then you let Cena and take.
That's a good take.
We're gonna see. I think the whole world is questioning what is gonna happen if Taker's gonna show.
There's not going to be a match. I think Cena's going to be in the arena as a fan, drinking a beer with somebody. He's going to get in the ring and talk shit. And Taker's going to come out. It's going to probably be awesome. We're probably going to fucking love it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We're going to love it. Undertaker, at this point in time, he just can't do it anymore. And all of us fans, we want it. We want to see it. But he just can't do it. The last 3 matches that Undertaker has had have been horrendous. The Reigns match was terrible, and the true Brock Lesnar ones were terrible. And they ruined his whole mystique. Like, that was the only important reason for Undertaker to come back, was the streak. When you take that away to put over a piece of shit like Brock Lesnar, it just, that ended his career that night. You can't push him out the next year and be like, oh my God, Undertaker's back. No one gives a shit at this point. You ruined it when Brock beat him. You let that piece of shit beat him to put him over. Well, let me tell you one thing. When you look at the history of the WWE, or the WWF, as I like to refer to it, before the fucking crazies got involved, fucking Undertaker is everything to WWE. Brock Lesnar is a blip on the fucking radar. Like, that's all he is. Brock was there, he left, he had nothing else better to do after he had his ass kicked at UFC, so he needed to make one more payday. And now he's going to fucking try to go get another payday from UFC.
We'll talk about that at the end. Don't ruin it.
No, I'm not ruining it yet. But I'm just saying, how does Vince McMahon do that to Undertaker? Unless Undertaker fucking, he must have said okay to it. But from what I understand, I thought fucking they really hated each other in real life.
Yeah,
I can't imagine why
I think Undertaker and Brock Lesnar are actually very good friends in real life.
Well, then that's cool. I guess that he gave him that fucking thing, but it ruined Undertaker, and now there's no point in seeing him anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
except for like
if we get to see him one last time as the American Badass, which everybody thinks that's what's going to happen,
and it's a good ha-ha, hey, John Cena high five.
If that's it, there's been talk that Taker's going to come out as the American Badass, and they're going to do the whole Rock Cena thing where Kid
Rock's going to be singing.
Where they talk about the match 1 year from now, and that's going to be the match. But I think Taker's done. I really do think we're done with Taker. We're going to see him. I think he's going to be there. I just think it's going to be more of a confrontation versus a match. And that's only going to help Taker because he can't physically do it.
Yeah.
But going on, another big storyline. You have the big Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Shane and Bryan. I mean, this is one of the biggest news is that Daniel Bryan's cleared to wrestle. Now, we have some strong opinions about this, and I've been telling this to KT for months now that there is no way that Vince McMahon is going to allow Daniel Bryan to wrestle for another company.
Yeah, I guess he finally forced his hand.
And he stuck to it. He got cleared.
His contract is coming up, right? Is that why they had to do it?
Yeah, and who knows if Daniel Bryan is 100% healthy. We hope he is. No one wants to see anybody get hurt.
I just look at it like this. You're a selfish asshole, Daniel Bryan. And I don't mean to be a dick by saying that, but you have a brand new fucking daughter at home. You have a beautiful wife. And you've got a great gig being the GM of SmackDown. Get over yourself.
You got to still live your dream with being in a ring. You didn't get to wrestle, but the only way this match makes any sense is if Shane or Daniel Bryan turn heel.
And
one of them has to turn heel.
Jay has the best fucking theory of it all.
What?
Daniel Bryan's turn.
Daniel Bryan.
We said this a couple months ago. We didn't know it was going to be to this point, but Jay just figured out something recently that he thought of on his own, and I really have a feeling that this is the direction they're going to go to. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, if they do this, this is the best thing WWE's done in fucking 5 years.
if they turn Daniel Bryan to screw over Shane and decide with Owens and Zayn and to start that whole little guy indie fucking faction, it could be something special.
But the whole thing is that Miz turns face. And that Miz and fucking Daniel Bryan are the fucking two that we've all been waiting for, and they've been building for fucking 3 years while his fucking neck's been snapped. That this thing could be the thing you've been wanting.
I don't want to jump ahead to the Intercontinental title match before we get to it, but I'll continue this conversation in about 10 minutes.
All right.
Okay, we're going to go on hold here. The next tag match, which you're going to think I'm crazy for this, but I think this is going to be one of the best matches on the show. The Usos, New Day, and Bludgeon Brothers.
Wrestling-wise, yeah.
I think it's great. I think they've told a good story. I think the New Day is over. I think it's time for Big E to get his push. He is by far the elite of that three. The Usos have resurrected their career with a new character. And they are really, really good right now.
Yeah.
And the Bludgeon Brothers are. Luke Harper is one of the best wrestlers in the company, and I think his combination with Eric Rowan is really good. I hate Bludgeon Brothers as a name. I really think that they should have been called the Brotherhood or something like that. But I think there's no way you can't put the belts on the blood. You cannot put the belts on the Bludgeon Brothers. They have to win.
Yeah, I mean. And that's the good thing about SmackDown is they actually are fucking doing something with the tag team division.
Yeah, I mean...
There's actually tag teams on that roster.
Yeah, I mean, this match is going to be really good.
Because you look at the Raw fucking tag team, we'll talk about it in a second, but there's no tag fucking teams in that. And the ones they do have, they fucking just keep in the back room.
This is going to be a really good match. If you remember about 2 years ago when the Wyatt family was feuding with the Usos... Those tag matches were some of the best matches that you ever saw on TV.
Oh, the Usos, the Wyatts, and the Shield.
Those were some of the great. And that was when Usos were like kitty face. Mm-hmm. Now they're face, but they're heelish.
Yeah.
And I like what the Usos have done with their character. And I love the Uso Penitentiary, all that shit. The New Day's done. Their gimmick is over. The fans love it, but it's time to let Big E be Big E.
Yeah.
And it's time.
Because, obviously,
he's
Kofi Kingston and fucking, what's his name? The little one.
Xavier Woods.
They're
good. They're good technical wrestlers in the ring.
But you don't care about them.
No, I want to see Big E get his push.
Yeah.
I do. But I think no way you don't put the belts on Bludgeon Brothers after all that they've done building up this character.
Yeah.
It's very 80s character. I hate the name.
Hey, but that's the wrestling I loved was the 80s,
but
90s,
I hate the
man.
name Bludgeon Brothers. I would have loved to see them more of a deal, but we both think Bludgeon Brothers win that, and it's going to be a great tag match. It really is. Moving on to the next tag match, The Bar, which is really good. The problem is they can't build up anybody to face against them, and now you have Braun Strowman, and the speculation is who's Braun Strowman's partner going to be?
Is it Brain?
Is
it Brain
Braun
Strowman?
and Brain? I mean, what do you do with Braun Strowman? I mean, they squashed the one possibility. Everybody thought that he might pick Kurt Hawkins. That's done. Everybody thought that you pick Elias, but there's something bigger for Elias. Do you bring somebody from the outside? A random person?
I just hope they don't fucking tote out Big Show or Kane. That's the only thing I hope they don't do.
Big Show and Kane belong in that battle royal.
Yeah.
I would love to see somebody from the outside. A Rey Mysterio. Who else is the rumors that they're going to bring in? There's somebody else, but
they're probably going to run with the Brain and Braun thing, knowing WWE. Vince probably thinks this is the most clever thing he's ever come up with.
I don't know how they do it, but I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with this.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Vince McMahon.
I just hope that they really shock the world with this tag partner.
The sad thing is, guys, is that there's fucking the Club and there's the Revival.
And they're all going to be in that fucking battle royal.
The tag team division, I don't even know why there's a tag team belt on fucking Monday Night Raw. Because all the Bar ever does is fight two people put together.
Yeah.
every week. It's so stupid.
Does Dean Ambrose come? Does Big Cass come?
Big Cass would be a fucking... We had a theory about Big Cass, like...
Well, we thought Big Cass, now that Enzo's gone, you got to repackage that guy.
Yeah, but then we have a theory... Oh, I guess it was a theory of him showing up with Braun.
Yeah, and being repackaged in a whole new guy.
Yeah.
But you have something there with Big Cass, but you've got to repackage him. Apparently, he's cleared and ready to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to make an appearance.
It
might be the Battle Royal.
And who knows? That could be... He could win the Battle Royal.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
Yeah, that could definitely be the guy that wins the Battle Royal.
But moving on to a couple women's matches, Alexa and Nia, the body shaming bully thing. You have to put the belt on Nia at this point, right?
You beat her up so much that it's the redemption story.
That's
the redemption story that Vince and Stephanie probably want to tell.
And Nia is the fan favorite. That's about all.
Who gives a shit, really?
Charlotte and Asuka.
I will say it's probably going to be an awesome match.
It probably is. Do you let Asuka... There's a lot of speculation. Is Carmella going to cash in, make it a three-way so Asuka doesn't get pinned?
They are going to do that. They're going to They're going to fucking Seth Rollins it.
Charlotte pins Carmella or Asuka pins Carmella, and you keep credibility in both those characters. And then forward the match that everybody is facing. They want Asuka and Ronda at next year's WrestleMania, whatever. But if you want to get rid of that briefcase, this is a way to do it.
And she has to get rid of it before the next Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Which is in like 2 months, right?
Yeah, so could you do that? Could you have Carmella cash in, make it a three-way, kind of Seth Rollins-esque, where Braun lost it, but he didn't get pinned when Rollins won the belt over Reigns? Remember?
Right. Where Brock lost it?
Yeah, but he didn't get pinned, so it didn't discredit his character.
Right.
Can you do that with Asuka? Do you let Charlotte retain the belt because Charlotte pins Carmella and Asuka remains undefeated?
You know what? Asuka doesn't win the belt because they don't want her going to SmackDown. I don't think they want her going to SmackDown.
Yeah.
So maybe Carmella does win the belt.
No, I don't think she wins the belt. I think one of these win the belt by pinning Carmella to keep both of those characters strong.
I don't know. I think Carmella wins the belt.
I
think they're going to fucking pay it off just like they did Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I don't know, but Carmella's no Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but fucking...
I think Carmella's...
Dude, they're doing so much stupid shit with the women's division, it doesn't even matter, man. They'll do whatever they want to just to fucking... Like you're saying, can you save face with Charlotte and Asuka? If they don't pin each other... Well, I guess Carmella then has to
Could
pin
you
one
have
of them.
Asuka pin Carmella? You don't hurt Charlotte's
character. Do you have Homeboy show back up and fucking help her win?
Ellsworth? That would be great. That would be great.
It would be.
It would be great. Moving on to the gimmick match. There's always a gimmick match at WrestleMania. Triple H and Steph versus Ronda and Kurt. Who gives a fuck? I think there's no... How could you not have Kurt and Ronda win this match?
Yeah.
Unless you're just hell-bent on fucking people over and Triple H they're going to destroy Ronda and build her up as a heel. I don't know. I don't even know where they go from here.
I have no idea what they're doing with that storyline.
Yeah, it's just your typical gimmick WrestleMania match.
Ronda's
your Floyd Mayweather Big Show match. Your
Ronda's
fucking
so
Lawrence Taylor match. Your
bad.
Mike Tyson match. All that shit.
On the fucking microphone. She got delivered the best line that anybody could ever drop the other night. And she fucking ruined it.
When she asked Stephanie what hand she writes with, I was like, that's a great line, and she fucked it up. I was like, that's the first line that she has said since she's been there.
And she probably been rehearsing it 24 hours a day for 7 fucking days from the last Monday Night Raw.
They gotta really do something here. I don't know what they're gonna do. Could The Rock get involved in this? The original rumors was Ronda and Rock.
They forced it too quick.
Yeah.
They forced Ronda too quick. I don't think Ronda's going to be bad. I just think they forced it too quick.
Yeah. Speaking of Rock, I think there's something that could happen here with KT's boy Elias. Elias, I think, is going to have a segment by himself of a concert. Does The Rock come out and fuck with Elias? Does Stone Cold come out and fuck with Elias? Does Jeff Jarrett come out and fuck with Elias?
Well, Rock has a new movie to promote, so he might just fucking come out.
Who's going to take a guitar shot from Elias to put him to the top? Rock would be unbelievable. Yeah. Jeff Jarrett makes a lot of sense because of the guitar comparison.
Yeah, I don't know if Vince gives that to him, though.
Yeah, because he's always fucking famous for burying his fucking old competition. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but Elias is going to
I will tell you this. If Rock takes a guitar from Elias, you just put Elias in a fucking superstardom, which he's already claiming on his own.
And if Rock cares as much about the business as he says he does, he will do this.
Can I ask you what does WWE stand for?
Walk with Elias!
Yeah. Elias is the shit. And I hope everybody else is on board with that dude. He is fucking good in the ring. He is a great personality. His character is sick.
Can I go out on a limb and say that Elias is a main event of next year's WrestleMania?
I could see it.
Next year's WrestleMania.
I could see it.
Maybe the winner of next year's Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Definitely, for sure. Definitely next year's Royal Rumble.
I think you're going to see 2018/19 is going to be the year of Elias.
Yeah, the year of Elias.
I just fucking created it right there.
He's got the look. He's good in the ring. He's fucking great on the microphone. He is owning it every time he comes out. He's getting those money spots on Raw that the primetime guys get. Like, it used to be that last hour of the first hour of Raw. Now he's getting that 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock hour. I mean, he had one of the best segments ever that wasn't even on TV during the final deletion. The fans in the arena said it was the best shit they've ever seen because they didn't get to watch the final
deletion. And they probably knew he was going to be on TV and they probably let him go.
Speaking of the final deletion, I didn't even think Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy are probably going to be in the mix to win that Battle Royal.
Oh, yeah. We actually talked about this earlier this week. And I said Bray's probably going to win it. Because Bray's probably going to come back from deletion.
As a new character.
As a
repackaged Bray Wyatt. But we'll see. But going on, you got the U.S. Championship. Bobby Roode, Rusev Day, Orton, and Jinder for the Fatal 4-Way.
I'm the Beethoven of baritone.
But, dude, how do you not let Rusev win this title?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I saw
so over.
I saw rumors today that fucking Rusev wants done.
Let's look. Bobby Roode. Rusev's been asking for his release for a long time. Bobby Roode hasn't related with the fans. He needs to be a heel.
They ruined him.
He needs to be a heel.
They saw Glorious and
Orton
they just
can do whatever. Orton's fucking. He can do whatever. He doesn't need to win this.
By the way, Orton is my favorite fucking wrestler. One of my favorite wrestlers.
Jinder is Jinder. Rusev needs to win this, and they need to run with Rusev Day. They've got something special on their hands, and they're going to fucking blow it. He needs to win that U.S. title.
And then he needs to go for the belt.
Yeah.
And he could be... The thing about Rusev, he's so good in the ring. Like, you wouldn't think it because how big he is. That dude is badass in the ring.
And he's got charisma. It's really good.
Like, I could see him against Shinsuke. I could see him against AJ Styles. I can see him against anybody in the company.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to the main event here, which is gonna cause some opening here. But your Intercontinental belt, which is probably gonna be the match of the night. Seth Rollins and Finn Balor and Miz. Seth and Finn just put on a WrestleMania caliber match on Monday night.
Yeah.
And Miz just had a baby. So this goes back to my earlier KT brought. I said this is a theory that I have. Miz loses the title to one of those guys. And because Miz is going to take some time off to be with his baby, which is understandable. It's real life. These people are real. And does Miz come back to SmackDown to face Daniel Bryan? That's the match everybody wants.
Yeah, it's your SummerSlam
match. Does he take
match.
some time off and then pipe it up for SummerSlam? And then you let Seth and Finn run with an Intercontinental feud. Because these guys are special. They are.
And fucking SmackDown needs Miz back. Because as good as Miz is on Raw, they put him second fiddle, even though he still steals the show every Monday night. Miz is fucking good.
He's unbelievable.
I'm not going to say he's the best wrestler in the business because he's not.
The best character. I mean, what he's done, and he needs some time to be with his kid. I mean, to be with his wife, and we're watching some crazy Conor McGregor shit.
Which we're going to talk about once we get to the last match.
Here. But I think Seth and Finn, I mean, if you look at the next match, AJ and Shinsuke, and everything that the Bullet Club has, okay, Prince Devitt was the first leader of the Bullet Club, who is a.k.a. Finn Balor. He left, AJ came, took over the Bullet Club. AJ leaves, steps in Kenny Omega. He takes over the Bullet Club. Kenny Omega is now out. Cody Rhodes is now in.
Cody Rhodes changing the Bullet Club's logo?
Yeah, Cody Rhodes is now in. It's like this ongoing thing with the Bullet Club, and AJ and Shinsuke are, if they get the amount of time that they deserve, it's going to be the match of the night. If they allow them to go put a New Japan Wrestling match on, it's going to be sick. And it's time to let AJ and Shinsuke do it. And it's time to let fucking Shinsuke show WWE what he's capable of.
Yeah, I mean, Shinsuke's sick in the ring. Every time I start doubting on Shinsuke, I see a match that he did in New Japan or even at NXT. Fuck, he was amazing in NXT. And you're like, okay, I get it. But man, what Vince does to him, what he does to Asuka too. I mean, Asuka gets over more, but they make him so cartoonish that it's like you feel bad for him because
I just had a thought on who could be Braun's partner. Samoa Joe.
Is he healthy?
I don't know. I just kind of dawned on me. I hate to change subject like that,
right.
But it just dawned on me. But AJ Shinsuke, it's going to be great. Seth, Finn, and Miz, who knows what's going to happen there. I really think Miz loses that title and takes some time off and then gets reshuffled in the mix with Daniel Bryan when he comes back.
Dude, that would be a sick story. And they've been building it for so long. I mean, when Miz left SmackDown, they were every Tuesday night after the SmackDown Live. We're fucking having feuds.
And if you could let Miz come back, and if Daniel Bryan really does turn heel and goes with Owens and Zayn, and Owens and Zayn and Daniel Bryan are running this independent faction, and Miz is a WWE bred guy, he could come in and be like, you independent fucks are nothing. You guys are made by WWE. It could be so good.
But you have to let it happen. Yeah. You have to let it happen as fans. Yeah. You can't be on the Daniel Bryan train. You
can't boo people because it's popular. You can't do it. You can't boo Roman Reigns because it's a cool thing to do.
You have to let that story develop. That's the thing that sucks about wrestling right now. And I get it because you're invested and you're fans and you love it. But sometimes you got to let them tell the story they want to tell.
Yeah. That brings us to the main event. There's a lot of layers to this.
And I'll say you guys did do it the other night. Heyman put such a fucking good promo on in the ring on Monday night that you guys actually turned on Brock and were fucking supporting Reigns. And I was impressed. And I'm not the biggest Reigns fan, but I appreciate what he is and what they want him to be.
And guys, let's face it. Dana White kind of ruined this storyline by coming out and announcing today that Brock Lesnar is signed with UFC.
That was his first announcement this morning.
Yeah. I mean, the Conor McGregor situation, Kenny told me about this. I didn't even see it. Conor McGregor has went...
We'll talk about it.
I mean, I don't even want to get into it because it's UFC, but there is some crazy shit going on. And with Lesnar signing with UFC, it only leaves one option for Sunday's match. Or actually, there's another option, but everyone says, okay, Reigns is going to win. But are they going to let Reigns win because that's what everybody expects? Or do you let Lesnar win, leaves for UFC, he has to relinquish the belt, and do they have a heavyweight tournament? That could be cool. Because it's everything that is against what they're thinking. Right?
It is. But you look at the events of today and fucking the last month, to the last pay-per-view, actually, where Lesnar's out with Dana White.
Yeah. Reigns has done some of his best work.
He's not in Vegas. Reigns is doing the best work he's ever done because they finally let him just go out there and cut a promo. And it's a great story. So you're building story. Everything's story. You have today Dana White coming out and saying that Brock's coming back to the UFC, which has been speculation. So you're like, is this real?
Or is it not real? Or is Dana
real?
Working us all right now? Is Dana and Vince really tight and he's working us?
But then you have the Conor McGregor story that broke mid-afternoon. And now I don't know that Dana White's even in the right fucking frame of mind. But I mean, fucking Dave Portnoy said today, is this just a WWE work?
And that's what nobody knows. I mean, could Vince and Dana be that close to help each other's product out?
I don't think so. I think Connor.
Separated from Connor. The Connor situation today is appalling.
Yeah. But there's been rumors lately that Connor is going to be coming to WWE at some point.
Yeah, but you can't relate the Connor situation with Brock because it's two weight classes, too different. I mean...
No, I know. I'm not relating it to the same way. I'm just saying that for that to have happened, and now Dana White has all this shit going on, like...
Yeah, but if Lesnar already signed, that's a done deal. This could be last year.
What is that? He said, fucking, you said, like, Lesnar can't even fight for a year.
Yeah, he has to serve a suspension. He has to serve 14 months. Because
Lester's not a young chicken. He's fucking like 40-something years old.
Yeah, because he has to serve the remaining 8 months of his suspension, and then he has to get put back in the pool for 6 months. So he has to get randomly drug tested for 6 months beyond his 8 months.
And then train for 6 months for a fucking fight. Yeah, well, you're looking at 2 years. Train
before that. So he's looking at 14 months minimum before he can fight a UFC fight. So is this a work by Dana White? Are they trying to swerve the fans? Or is this really Brock Lesnar's last appearance and Reigns wins it because of that? Or do they fucking swerve the fans, let Lesnar win, and then vacate the title?
Right. I don't know what they're going to do.
And then if I'm pretty sure Vince is... Then it's fucking up for grabs Monday night on Raw. Who knows?
I read today where like they said, I think it was Busted Open, it was like negotiations must not have went well with Brock and Vince. And the Dana White announcement this morning about Brock joining UFC was basically Brock saying, fuck you, Vince. I just ruined your thing, which isn't beyond Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
because Brock's a fucking cock-sucking asshole. Like, that dude is just only cares about himself. Now, I don't know if Paul Heyman would be a part of that. I don't know how close those two really are. You would imagine they're close.
I think Paul Heyman is just a character.
Paul Heyman's got to be a WWE guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to be a professional wrestling guy.
He's a character, yeah.
Like, so you don't think they really have a true relationship outside?
So. I mean, other than camaraderie, like being...
Because if they were that close, he would have went with him when he went to UFC the first time.
Yeah.
And been his boy.
No, I think Paul Heyman, it's just a character thing. I think Paul Heyman will be shuffled to someone else. Probably Ronda.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think so.
If they were smart, Ronda.
I mean, I think that there's two outcomes of this match. Reigns wins, and Lesnar's done. Lesnar wins.
But then is it cheap? It cheap if he's really leaving?
And Lesnar wins.
Then no one's going to buy it, though. No one's going to buy Reigns, and that sucks. But basically, Brock is saying, fuck you, Vince.
And do they let Lesnar win to swerve the fans and then create a tournament? I don't know what could happen.
Vince has got a big decision on his hand.
I mean,
because if it's a fuck you, Vince, he lets Brock win to show he didn't just give the belt to Reigns.
Yeah. And then they let Reigns win a tournament, culminating at whatever their next pay-per-view is.
That's what happens when you get into business with guys like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, they're pinned right now. I mean...
And it goes to show everything...
Is this the last pay-per-view that Brock Lesnar is the title holder? Yes.
It needs to be.
But how it happens, I don't know.
They don't usually let guys go more than a year. Brock's had the belt for a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was the last WrestleMania he won it from Goldberg?
Yeah. I mean, it's... What do they do? Vince, I think this is truly...
Vince is fucked either way, man.
This is truly the last match that Brock's a champion. It's just how they do it. Do they just do it because all the fans know it? Or do they fuck the fans and say, Lesnar's still going to win and we're going to vacate the title because he's no longer with the company?
I don't fucking know what they do. Vince is fucked right now.
Yeah, and Dana White's kind of shitty. Like if Brock really is leaving WWE, it's kind of shitty that Dana made this announcement on Thursday before WrestleMania. It's kind of shitty.
He has a pay-per-view this weekend, the same weekend as fucking WrestleMania. He's trying to steal all the thunder.
Yeah.
Dana White doesn't give a fuck about anybody. That guy has been the biggest scumbag too. Like, fuck. Like, I was reading, we talk about the Connor thing. I was reading today tweets about, like, Dana, this is your fault with the Connor thing. You've let this motherfucker do whatever you want. And you're obviously cradling fucking Brock Lesnar, just like Vince has done. Like, Brock Lesnar, as good as he is, and you want to like him, That guy doesn't give a fuck. Like Roman's promos this last few years or last couple
has
weeks
been what everybody is thinking.
It's what Cena said when Cena was going against Brock. But nobody wants to see it. They all love Suplex City. Dude, love the guys who fucking give it their every week.
Reigns bleeds WWE. And it's time for the fans to stop fucking shitting on him.
And I know there was questions about Reigns like earlier. I remember we heard a podcast about who called him out? Cena, right?
Yeah.
Was it Cena that said like, they felt like he was just there for a paycheck. I think it was an interview that Reigns gave, and he was like, "I'm just doing this for money.
I'm here
and
to
stuff.
make money and all this shit."
But now I think he's gotten it. You got to remember, Reigns is young. Reigns has got to only be like
he's in his 20s,
early 20s,
no,
mid
probably
20s,
late 20s. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it's going to be real interesting to see. I mean, that match has to be the last match. I mean, I know a lot of people speculate on the final match of WrestleMania being so important. Fucking Wade Keller and Sam Roberts just did a whole 3-part podcast on the WrestleMania orders from WrestleMania 1 to 33 and how important it is and what could have happened. And it was nice to listen to that because me and KT went to WrestleMania 24 at the Citrus Bowl, and we kind of got put back into that time frame of Ric Flair's final match and Edge and Taker. But
it really doesn't matter because, like me and Jay said, when you think about it, like the memory of the night is what matters.
Yeah, like I remember my biggest memories of WrestleMania are Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero standing tall at the end of their WrestleMania when they both won the belts, and I remember Daniel Bryan.
Like, what you want?
Right? I mean, those are two of my biggest WrestleMania memories, other than the one we went to and we saw Ric Flair's final match. And we saw Taker and Edge put on a great match.
What you want for the end of WrestleMania, or any pay-per-view, in my opinion, is you want a payoff.
And you want the fans to feel great.
You want
it's your end of the year.
You want a payoff, or you want a double cross. You want fucking what was it, 2 years ago when Rollins came out at
when
Rumble?
He cashed in the... Well,
no, not cashed in, but when he came out and after his knee surgery.
Oh, Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules.
When he came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
That's what you want as an end.
Yeah.
You want that, or you want a payoff.
But WrestleMania, I think, is like a conclusion.
Right, so you want a payoff.
And WrestleMania, I think, of all pay-per-views, you want that moment of Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero under the confetti. You want Daniel Bryan standing tall after overcoming everything. You want those scenarios.
And you fans probably don't want it, but Reigns is the payoff. What he went through with Braun Strowman, the beatings he took, what he's been going through with
He deserves
Brock.
this. It's shitty how it's going down, but he deserves it.
He deserves it.
And we'll see what happens come Sunday. And
The payoff might be Asuka.
Me and KT
the payoff might be Asuka. I don't know. If it's Asuka, I don't know, man. But whatever. I'll get over
KT will
it.
be watching the Masters final round and then right into the WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Guys,
Sunday's going to be sick.
We went super deep tonight. We went so long over what we normally do. But guys, with our podcast changing direction, we're going to probably give you some longer pods now because we're talking about stuff that we're extremely passionate about. Jaguars, wrestling, and golf.
And we're probably a little bit liars that I don't doubt that we won't get into the Magic at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, we're down on them right now, so we've, if you listen to early pods, we were heavy Magic. We got fucking.
But we know you guys want to hear us talk about. You want to hear us talk about Jaguars. That's what we love, and that's what this pod is going to morph into, especially when the season goes.
It will be heavy centric Jaguars.
But we wanted to tell you guys that these first 4 months of the pod has been a trial period. We have gone all over the map, and if you guys listen to all our pods, we're into our 17th episode now. We brought you 4 months of pods.
Who would have thought?
Of being all over the place. And now we've got a streamline, and we're going to be bringing it to you. The next time you hear us is going to probably be draft night.
Nope, it'll be after draft
It'll
night.
be draft night. We'll be talking about
State of the Union.
State of the franchise, the new uniforms, the schedule, and then we'll be live for the Jaguars pick.
Yeah, it's going to be a sick podcast.
And that's what we're going to do.
We're going to do a straight probably hour and a half just on that.
Yeah.
It might go 2 hours. It might go 3. We don't know what we're going to do. All we know is we're going to show up. We're going to get drunk. We're going to talk Jags.
And then we'll be here for the next wrestling pay-per-view. We'll be here for the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
We'll bring you the Golf U.S. Open at Shinnecock Hills in June. And that's what we're going to focus on, guys, because we know that's what you love to hear us talk about.
If we get a little frisky, we might talk some NBA Finals. We don't know.
Yeah, who knows what's going to be there.
That might. You know what? NBA Finals probably be the same weekend as fucking the U.S. Open.
But
so
we're going to keep bringing it to you guys. We love you. We appreciate all the feedback that we've gotten in our first 4 months. And we know what you guys want to hear now. And
we appreciate the Twitter follows. We appreciate the Instagram follows. We appreciate the listens. I mean, we're doing pretty good. At this point in time, we have way more listens than we ever thought we were going to get.
Yeah, and now we're going to focus in a certain direction and hopefully give you guys even more listens. We love the Jaguars, we love wrestling, and we love golf.
Blake fucking Bortles is all I got to say.
Yeah. But guys, you have a great weekend. We will bring you back the next time. We'll see you guys at the draft night. That'll be our next podcast, the NFL draft. Live for the Jaguars pick.
Yeah, April 26th, I believe.
It'll be an all Jaguar pod, all about the state of the franchise, the new uniform launch, and the schedule. We'll have a lot to talk about what schedule happens.
Yeah, the schedule will be really cool.
Yeah.
We'll get to dissect every week, every game, where we think we'll be, what record we'd like to see in the third quarter of the season, fourth quarter of the season.
We'll be live on the air when the Jaguars make their pick. I promise you that.
29th. I'm pretty sure it's going to be an offensive lineman, but we'll see.
All right, guys. Keep following us. Check us out. We're all over the place. Apple iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio. We're on Podbean now. We're all over the place, guys. We love everything that you're doing.
Keep drinking beers. Keep tuning in.
We're going from zeros to heroes.
We're just two guys having a conversation.
We'll see you guys in a couple weeks for the NFL draft.
Get on the chip.
Peace.